How high the moon? Greetings friends, this is Gemini Brett with Backyard Astronomy. It is January 31st, 2023, and the moon is on high. I mean, the highest I've ever seen her, actually. Let me try to point this thing directly overhead to the top of the sky. I believe the center of the screen here is the zenith. You know what I could do is just, here, I'm gonna lay this camera down on a table over here so we know it's pointing straight up. It's kind of not because of the viewfinder. This is like flat, okay? So I'm excited to check the record because I can't see it through it right then, but you were just looking straight up to the top of the sky. I have never seen the moon this high in the California sky, and the reason why the moon is so high is because she is currently out of bounds north. This means a declination greater than the Tropic of Cancer, which is at about 23.5 degrees, and it exists basically on the foot of Castor here. This is Castor and Pollux, the twins. Here is Orion, who hunts the bull. There's the Hyades, the face of the bull, Pleiades on the bull's back. The horns of the bull, one is actually just above the moon right now, that is El Nath, and this is El Heka, the southern horn of the bull. And the moon right now is passing like well north of the ecliptic plane. She has northern latitude and has extreme northern declination, as does Mars right now. By the way, Mars has been out of bounds for some time, and moon will be out of bounds every month north here in the tropical signs of Gemini and Cancer, and also in the southern signs of tropical Sagittarius and Capricorn. So when moon ingresses zero Cancer, like the ecliptic zero Cancer is right there, but moon's gonna pass overhead. So one of the ways that we can tell moon is out of bounds is she gets higher in the sky than the sun ever can. Another way we can tell that moon is out of bounds north is she will rise further north of due east than sun ever can, which is the June solstice sun or Cancer solstice sun, and then moon will set further north than sun ever can. That's something I plan to time-lapse tonight. I've been putting together a bunch of different sunset on the horizon over the course of the year images, and preparing that for a class I'm teaching with Daniel Jamaro soon on the out of bounds phenomenon. But I'll tell you right here, I call this Solstice Hill, and that's because it's where the December solstice or the Capricorn solstice or the South solstice sun sets, and then every day the sun moves north from there. Today, and the sun's about 12 degrees tropical Aquarius, the sunset like right here, and then it will keep coming this way. When the sun ingresses Cancer, it sets between those eucalyptus goalposts right there. And tonight the moon is going to set much further north than the sun ever can. And the moon is spending more time above the horizon here in the northern hemisphere because she's out of bounds north than the sun ever can. So the longest day of the year, of course, summer solstice, right? Northern hemisphere, sun ingress, tropical Cancer. Tonight, because the moon is out of bounds north, she'll actually spend more time above the horizon than the sun does on the longest day of the year. Orion, this is my midheaven tree. I'm standing due north of that tree right now. So I can see, for example, that Rigel, Orion's foot is currently culminating, that Orion is just moving from the 10th house side to the 9th house side of my sky, and that the moon is culminating right now as well. So I can see Aldebaran, the eye of the bull, which projects to 10 degrees tropical Gemini in our day and age. That's where Mars is, about 9. The Pleiades mark 0 Gemini, the Taurus Gemini cusp. I can draw a line from Aldebaran to Alneth here, and it crosses the ecliptic plane around 15 degrees tropical Gemini. Moon right now at Alneth is like 22 Gemini, and I can see that moon is currently culminating. So if I cast a chart in this moment, I'm going to see that the midheaven is, I think, 19 or 20 degrees tropical Gemini. Let me push the now button. Midheaven right now, 19 degrees, 34 arc minutes. So 19 or 20 is pretty much right, because it's 19 and a half, right? This is how we learn to see the midheaven in the sky with our eyes, is we just draw the meridian line. That's a north-south great circle, separating the eastern sky that goes up from the western sky which goes down, right? Separating therefore the 10th house climbing from the 9th house cadent falling, all right? And if you know your zodiac degrees for fixed stars like Aldebaran or Maesa or Betelgeuse, or you happen to know in a moment like where the moon is, for example. I'd rather use the stars to tell me where the moon is, like where is Alnath, there's the moon. But if you know these degrees, then you can clearly find the midheaven, as long as you know which direction either due south is for the northern hemisphere or due north is for the southern hemisphere. And we're lucky in the northern hemisphere in our day and age because we can get directions from that star right there. Polaris, Pole Star, North Star. See Cassiopeia. It's kind of opening up. So I'm going to bend backwards now. It's the top of my sky. And there's that moon. Super high. I might be sober, but I have my doubts about her right now. See you in space, friends.